Hey, 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 good morning. Welcome. Thank you so much. I'm so excited. It's day two. OMG, day one was phenomenal. Listen, you got to go to bit.ly/, he wants 2020 so that you can register. And I'm going to tell you, you'll be able to win some prizes, but you got to register and you got to share the broadcast. I am not Danielle Winningham, but I'm so delighted that she's here with me this morning. I'm Tisha Marie Johnson, creator of Your Love of a Lifetime, helping you manifest true and lasting love. This is the What He Really Wants Relationship Summit. And oh my goodness, we started off yesterday with the Wisdom from Wives conversation, and it was fire. The women are still talking about it. And then last night, if you missed last night, and if you were not in the Zoom room, then you missed the treat. I don't know what's wrong with you. You better go register. bit.ly/, he wants 2020. But I'm so excited to be here. So listen, go ahead, share the broadcast, invite someone to the conversation. You know somebody that needs this information. So be nice, be kind. It's Wednesday. I mean, for God's sake, go ahead and bring them in so they can get this information, because you don't know what you don't know, and you want to know what you need to so that you can position yourself so you can have your love of a lifetime. So I'm going to allow my coach. I'm excited. I'm nervous, but I'm excited. She's here. Listen, I sit at her feet. I have learned so much in the time that I've been with her these last 3.5, almost 4 years. And truly, I'm honored, thankful, and grateful. And coach, if you missed this yesterday, I had to give you kudos, but you're here now. Thank you so much for this opportunity, not just to help me help others, but because you've helped me in such a huge way. I'm so excited. So go ahead. I mean, it's your platform. They know who you are. But for the sake of those that are joining me for the first time, and those that are a part of our audience, go ahead and tell them who you are.
So, my name is Coach Daniel Patterson Winningham. I'm a former JP Morgan Chase Vice President, Master Life and Master Business Coach. And the funny thing is, it was a toss up for me when I first started looking for what I really wanted to do to help the world. Because I was coming out of a divorce, I really thought about going the relationship route. I really thought about being a relationship coach. I really thought about helping other people, because there's nothing that teaches you like making mistakes. People want
Absolutely.
to look at the people who look like they got it all together, but if they look like they got it all together, it may have been easy for them, and they may have not had to go through some of the things that other people have had to go through. So when you make mistakes, that is when you really learn. That's in life, business, relationships, whatever. So I'm sure all of us can look back at a relationship and say, if I had to do it all over again, number one, I know what to look for. The signs were all there. Hello, I don't know anybody. Someone, wait a minute now. Anybody in the audience ever had a horrible relationship? Don't sit there and act like every relationship you had was a knight in shining armor, because I know that it's rare. It's rare that it works out like that. So if you had a relationship struggles, go ahead and say me in the chat. And hey, Patty, good morning. Once you struggle in a relationship like that, you're going to do one or two things. You're either going to blame it on yourself and go out and get the same type of man over and over and over again, or you're going to be brutally honest about not just what you did wrong, but what he did wrong, and why you guys just weren't a great match. And when it comes down to what men really want, we as women have to understand men are hunter gatherers. That is their call. That's what they've been since the cave days. They are providers. And when you take that away from a man, meaning you chase him down, you run him down, you running around with all the pressure on your back, it does something to them. And so you have to make men chase you. And you may say, "Well, I hate playing games. It doesn't seem like," but at the end of the day, if you really want a man, he's got to feel like it was his idea to get with you. He can't feel like you chased him down. And that's just the truth of the story. So again, I toss that coin, but in order to do what Tisha does, you have to really love, right? You have to really be one of those people. And if you are, Tisha's looking for ambassadors to national ambassadors. So it doesn't matter where you are to help with this what he really wants movement. So make sure you go to bit.ly/he wants 2020 because there's so many single women that need help, so many married women that need help, so many divorced women that need help. And women, when operating correctly, can really right side the whole state of what's going on with relationships nowadays. Because I really feel like, we've given up so much of our power to men, we've forgotten how powerful we are. So if you look at the dichotomy of what's going on, you got all these male CEOs, you got all these men with the money, but behind the scenes is some woman pushing the buttons, is some woman telling them what tie to put on, is some woman telling them how to run the relationship, co-driving the ship, and we refuse to get credit for what we've done and what we do. So I really think it's important that we understand when it comes down to men, we really have to play the game. Tisha, what do you think?
Oh, playing the game. Yeah, we talked about that last night, and we talked about that behind closed doors. And definitely, of course, you have to learn the man that you're with, obviously. But men have some things that are pretty common amongst them. And like you said, they want to be the pursuers. But now, one of the men that we interviewed did say you have to be approachable. And so I think sometimes we get caught up in the hurt and pain of our past. And so we're looking at the new man like he's the old man and he never has a chance. So, we've got to change our perspective as women so that we don't push them away. You think you're drawing them to you, but in essence, you're pushing them away if you don't have the right mindset.
Oh,
We have
I definitely agree with that. I'm saying you got to be whole before you can even start to play this game. You know what I'm saying? You've got to have no preconceived notions. You've got to be living your life and doing you. And unfortunately, so many of us hang our happiness on a man, not realizing that you're really more attractive when you're happy. Period. So I'm not saying run him off. I'm
right.
saying be coy. Don't be
Yeah.
so thirsty.
Right.
If
Right.
y'all exchange numbers, wait. Let him call you. Let him make the first move. If he says, "Hey, let's go out," it's okay if every now and then you're busy. "Oh, I'm sorry, I already got plans. Can we do it another night?" I'm not saying run the dude off. I'm saying don't run him down.
Right. Right. Oh,
You know,
absolutely.
'Cause I've
Yeah.
heard stories men told me that they exchanged numbers with a woman, and and Mr. Troy told me this story. He said it was this lady. They exchanged numbers at the store, and literally before he got home, she had called him and
Wow.
called him every day after. Was riding by his house, found out where he lived, and that was before stalking was illegal. So what I'm saying is she was just really doing too much. And in doing too much, it just becomes a turnoff.
Yeah, ladies, we got to get the right balance of things and get some help. If you truly and nowadays so many people say, "Well, I don't know how to play the game," and so much has changed. A lot hasn't changed, but there are some things that change that you have to be open to the shift. But if you don't know, don't go out there willy-nilly. Don't go out there just trying to do anything and you do the wrong thing. So listen, you guys go to bit.ly/free, not free women. uh, he wants 2020. I got so many links in my head. It's all good though. So you can register and get the information that you need so that you can also be in the drawing for the gifts that we're going to be giving away. So, listen, I have one of my sisters that has come to assist this morning. She is also a wife, and we're going to be interviewing her later on this week. So, I'm excited about it. But, Yvette, come on, take yourself off of mute and tell the people who you are. You are on mute. You are still on mute. All right, while she's working on that, again, thank you so much for joining us this morning. This is the What He Really Wants Relationship Summit. I'm Tisha Marie Johnson. For those who do not know me, I'm excited about this conversation, wisdom from wives, because you need to have some information to help you navigate through these dating streets, through this path to get to where you want to be. And so, if you are the person who is always giving away relationship information, if you are that person who um everybody comes to, if you are Sally Matchmaker, then hey, I need to have a conversation with you, and we're gonna have some sessions that you can attend in the next week, so we can talk about it, because you need to get paid for what you do. And so when Coach comes back, she's gonna talk about the money, because so many of us are giving away our knowledge for free. And so if you are, even as a woman who is not married, I mean, you got to get your finances together. And especially if you are moving into a relationship, I mean, you don't want him to come to the table with his finances all jacked up. So you need to get your finances together as well. So if you have questions, then go ahead and put them in the comments. And I just want to say hey to some people that have joined us. Hey D, hey Ladavia, Patty, thank you so much for joining. Thank you, CJ. Thank you, Verlin, Sissy. Thank you for being here. You guys on Periscope, I appreciate you joining us this morning. And on Facebook, go ahead and share the broadcast if you have not already done so. And certainly go to register bit.ly/he wants 2020 so that you can um be registered, get the information, as well as be entered into the drawing. So we have some gifts that will be given away. Our authors yesterday both agreed to participate in our gift giveaway. So I'm excited about that. I also have an Amazon best-selling book, and so I'm going to be giving away a couple copies of that. So, but you can't win unless you register, and you can't win unless you register and share the broadcast. So, Yvette, did you get your sound together yet? It does not look like she did. All right. I am expecting another guest this morning, but while we're waiting on the other guest to arrive and my co-host to get her technology in sync, listen, one of the things that I do know is that in your pursuit of relationship, in your journey to becoming that wife, that girlfriend, that one that's in that committed relationship, you gotta love you. It really starts with loving you. And if you joined us last night, our guest Omar Bogan, he talked about the woman loving herself, because until you love you, you can't teach somebody how to love you. So you got to do some work on you. And like Coach said, you're attractive to a man when you have a happy life. No man wants a woman that's gonna drag him down because she's down to the ground. So you need to love your life, love who you are. Now we all have flaws. All have things that we're working on. We may even have some things from our past that we need to address, but that's no excuse from not working on you. It's no excuse from um being in position so that you can obtain the love of your life. And look, let's start off by being the love of your life. Oh, Yvette, you are. Thanks for sharing, Joanne. Good morning. Thank you for being here. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with your technology, because your camera is off too. So, all right, all right. Listen, when I say move, you move just like that in the talk of the rapper. So we're gonna keep it going. We're gonna learn to pivot when things don't work out exactly how we want them to. Send me a message if you get it back up. Okay. No problem. So, one of the first things is truly loving yourself. One of the second things is, and we talk about it, and people don't want to talk about the healing journey, but you've got to deal with some things, and we're not going to stay there long, but you've gone through this pain for a reason. Don't let the pain that you've experienced from a previous love prevent you from loving the next person. So those things should be a lesson. Those things should position you to not make some of the same mistakes. It's crazy. It's a first time shame on you, second time shame on me. Well, no, don't allow that pain to keep you stuck. Don't allow that pain to cause you to think, well, all men are dogs, or marriage sucks. No, that's just your perspective, and it's from a place of pain. So you got to do what you need to do to heal, so that you're open to receive. So, Coach, let's talk to them about the money. You know, being a woman, I know it's we're independent women, but how does that work in terms of obtaining, financial stability on your own and not waiting for somebody to come rescue you?
Well, that's like a touchy subject because you know here's what I think people get wrong. His money doesn't necessarily have to match your money, but he's got to bring something to the table. So you see two very distinct ends of the spectrum. You have the women that they don't care if he ain't got nothing. He ain't got to bring nothing to the table. I just want to be with him. And then you have the women that, girl, he got to have a Rolls Royce. He got to have a Lincoln Continental and a sunroof Cadillac. He got to have all of that. So you have the women that say, I don't care, if he doesn't have anything, love is enough. Then you got the women that say he got to have perfect credit, a good job, a big car. Somewhere in the middle, there has to be a meeting of the minds where you say it's not necessarily about the money. It's about, are we like-minded individuals, right? He may not have the money now, but he may have the potential. So you don't want to decapitate his manhood, castrate his manhood by taking care of him. He's still, and most men still want to be able to provide for their families. But you do have to reshape what provide looks like. Good morning, Tiffany. Happy anniversary.
Hey, Tiff.
Or was it your husband's birthday? I can't remember. I think you said it was your birthday anniversary. But you got to meet somewhere in the middle. And let me tell you what you'll find. That same man that didn't have $2 to rub together when he was with you, that same man was always asking you to pay a bill, will go get with somebody else, pay all their bills, make sure it's birthday. Tell my said happy birthday. Make sure make sure all her hair is did, make sure all her. There is something about women, and you have to make sure you keep your independence while at the same time let him be your knight in shining armor. Let him save you. Let him save you, be a damsel in distress every now and then. And I know it may be hard, but that's what men respond to. He don't want you out there jacking up your own car, changing your own tire. He don't want you changing your own oil. He don't. I mean, like Jill Scott has a song called "I Need You," and she said, she talks about all these things she can do herself. She said, I can kill a spider above my bed, but it's hard because I'm scared. I can put my own, I can buy my own shoe collection, put my own gas in my own car. But at the end of the day, I need you because you make all of those things better, easier. And I don't think we tell men or act in the capacity enough that we need them. And I'm not saying be helpless. And I'm not even saying play helpless. I'm saying be mindful. Be mindful as to the attributes he brings to the table that rounds everything out. And it just really does make life easier when everybody play their part.
Wow. And we've been interviewing men to again find out what they really want. And you're so right. The man wants to feel needed. If you can do everything and you got I got it, then what do you need him for? I mean, sex, okay, come on. He wants to be just like you don't want him to objectify you. Don't objectify him by I only need you for sex. Need him for something more. And I I can admit, especially younger, I didn't do well with that because I was so used to having to do things on my own. I was raised by a single parent woman, and my grandmother, the family band together and they raised me. So I was raised under this independent black woman kind of situation, and if you're not careful, you do take that into a relationship, and it plays into a bigger picture, but you don't want that man to feel like, well, what do you need me for?
Because let me tell you, when you do that, when he runs into that damsel in distress, he's going to respond to that because that's the piece of him, that's the piece of his ego that's not being struck. It could be the smallest thing. Thank you, Daddy. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. It could be the bigger things. Don't take them for granted. And it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter whether it's a, and what you'll find is that the more thankful you are, the more often he's going to do that thing that you were thankful for.
That's good, Tiffany. Tiffany said, find out what he wants to be needed for. And that was one of the questions that we did ask the man, what makes you feel needed? And I mean, they responded. Now, some of them had to really think about it because I guess they're never really asked that question, but they did have definitive answers and what makes them feel needed.
Let me tell y'all, so let me let y'all in on the trade secret. The what is not even as important as to how you get there because a lot of them don't know what they want to be needed for.
Right.
They just know that when they do certain things and you stroke their ego, that feels good, so they'll do it again. When I first met Mr. Troy, Mr. Troy didn't do no laundry. Mr. Troy had never done laundry in his life. Every relationship he was with before me, they cooked, they cleaned, they did the laundry. They went to the dollar store. Mr. Troy had never went to Walmart to buy deodorant, toilet paper. He had relationships. They did all that. So now you with me, I don't do none of that. So what we gonna do?
Oh, wait.
But it wasn't an issue. It was, man, baby, your laundry really piling up. You need me to, yeah. Well, show me. Okay, thank you, Daddy. Man, I sure appreciate that. And it just happened, and now it just is what it is. So it's less about what, because the what depends on what you need. It's more about expressing a need and expressing appreciation for whatever it is.
Appreciation goes a long way. How many times do you say thank you? I mean, that yes, we want men that are, gentlemen, cordial, chivalrous, but do you say thank you? Do you respond with thank you? Or you had a woman that's on the opposite plane where he does something and she already picking out wedding dresses. Again, there's a happy medium that we have to make sure that we come to so that we're not on the polar opposite ends in the wrong way. It needs to be the right way. You guys, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you taking the time to be here with us this morning. If you haven't shared the broadcast, please go ahead and share the broadcast. And in order to get into our drawing, we have some great giveaways that we're going to give away. And you know what, Coach? I really wanted to give away a trip. And we're going to give away a trip real soon. We don't have a trip this time, but we're gonna do something special, and I don't know, we're planning something really special for Valentine's Day, so maybe that'll be the time when we give that trip away. Just
It's gonna be hot.
just thinking out loud. But I appreciate you all being here. Listen, this is the What He Really Wants Relationship Summit. I'm honored to be here with the best coach on the planet, Danielle Winningham. She's sharing some tips for women, and we're talking to wives and what they need to do to prepare themselves to get in position so that you can be a wife, so that you can not even before you get to wife, so that you attract the right man, that you have the attributes for attracting the right man.
People, I
And
want to know what kind of questions they got. Ain't nobody got no questions.
let's see what's on Periscope. Yeah, if you have questions, let us know. Put it in the chat. Go ahead. And even in the Zoom room, I know we got some people in the Zoom room as well. Let's see, Miss Ola put something up. A lot of time, the things you do for each other mean the world, but you have to really listen to what each other is saying.
And there's a book called The Five Love Languages by Gary Chapman. Everybody's got a different love language. Troy's love language, can y'all guess what Troy's love language is?
Quality time is
Yup.
one.
Yes, Lord. Yes. Come watch TV with me.
Hmm.
Come watch football with me. Come
Yeah.
watch a movie with me. Come just sit and look at me. Look, baby, look at me. What if you don't meet men in your area online, girl? You're not gonna have no men if you don't. You gotta. So you're saying you don't meet them in your area, and you don't meet them online. Sometimes you gotta be deliberate about getting out of the house, whether it is going to a museum, especially pre-COVID, going to bowling alleys, going to. I don't think that there's a male shortage. It's really not. but you got to start to really think like a man, and stay ready. I'm gonna tell you a great place to meet men: Home Depot and Lowe's. Go every Saturday and every Sunday. Wear something shabby chic, so you don't want to have a club outfit on and some heels, but some little white tennis shoes, some little capri pants rolled up, a little cute top, maybe a little sun visor, something to look like you've been working around the house. Go to Home Depot, go to Lowe's. They will give you their phone number. They will load your car for you. Go in there and look lost. Don't go in there and go straight to the hammers. You see somebody cute, have your line ready. Look at Janice laughing. Ah, oh my God, I really don't know. I'm trying to get this part for my sink. I mean, really have like something you need for around the house, but just go in there and wander around. Look lost. You see a good looking dude, strike up a conversation. Check his hand. Because it's married women and it's married men and single men in there. If he got a ring on or a tan line where his ring's supposed to go, he is off limits. But it be a lot of single men. Let me tell you what else be in there: contractors, construction workers, anybody that works in the electricity, electricians, plumbers. So not only are you gonna find some decent single men, you're gonna find some good worker men in there too. Girl, I would start taking my lunch break every day at Home Depot and just going in there and walking. You gonna find some men.
Wow. That's good. That's a good tip,
It
ladies.
is. Baby, I ought to go charge home entrance fee at Home Depot. I'm gonna charge y'all chicks to get in.
Oh, wait. That's good. That's good. And you gotta figure out how to play it, how to approach them. You don't want to seem like
You don't
okay,
even
I
have to approach them. Look for something. Men like to be helpful.
mhm.
Go to Ace Hardware. Figure out something in your house you need help with. Go to Ace Hardware and ask a question. Take a light bulb in your hand. You need some more light bulbs? Lowe's sells light bulbs, paper towels. I ain't know that. Girl, I met Mr. Troy at the club. Y'all mean to tell y'all my Mr. Troy story? But I'm serious. Anywhere that men hang out in abundance,
Yeah.
Home Depot, Lowe's, Ace Hardware, any hardware store, any car parts store, go to the Harley Davidson shop. Go to the Harley Davidson shop. It ain't nothing but men in there. Go to
Go to the gym.
any. Mm, I don't really want a gym rat, so that's why I'm not gonna go to the gym. Cause then you gonna have a notion that I'm gonna be going to the gym with you. It's gonna be wrong. See, I don't want to meet you under false pretenses.
Mm, mhm.
You
Mhm.
understand what I'm saying? Because you're gonna be like, well, let's go to the gym, and I'm gonna be like, no, no, and he gonna be like, well, you was in the gym when I met you. So
Mhm.
I don't want to start down a path that I do not want to continue. But if you start, this is the same for anything, guys. You got a shortage of toilet paper in your city. Think about where everybody else is not going.
Yeah.
You got a shortage of chicken in your city. Think about where everybody else is not going. Everybody's going to Sam's and Costco. That's a good place to meet men. It be some working men's in Sam's, working men in Costco. That's a great place to meet men. Think about doing something outside of the ordinary. Some of these, there be softball tournaments, it be tag football teams, soccer teams. Girl, get you some popcorn and go out there and sit in them stands and root for whoever somebody else ain't rooting for. Girl, I'm telling you. You want to find men, go where the men are.
Yeah,
There's never
definitely.
a shortage. You may have a shortage of ideas. Girl, teach you gonna have to write that book where the men is,
Okay.
where the men be at.
Yeah. And we absolutely Whole Food store. Yeah,
Whole Foods.
we talked about that last night. You definitely wanna go to where they are. And sometimes it's outside of your norm. And it may even be outside of your comfort level. You might not feel comfortable going to Depot, but I mean it's not a bad place. I mean,
There is a store.
yeah, it's a store. So it's not gonna hurt you. You never been to AutoZone. It's not gonna hurt you. As a matter of fact, they running to try to help you.
Oh, AutoZone. Oh, girl, they stay up in there.
Yeah.
Go to AutoZone, put your hood up on your car, and just
Yep.
sit.
Yeah.
And just sit there. See how many of them ask you, do you need help?
That's true. So Joanne said after losing her husband and being married a few times, she's not ready. It will take time. How much time? No one knows. I know from experience now, I didn't lose a husband, but in terms of divorce, because divorce is like a death, and you go through that process, it'll take as long as you want it to take. If you have the right tools, if you know the right things to do, and you deal with whatever those issues are, then before you know it, it's not really a timetable. It depends on your determination to heal. Would you say something different, Coach?
Oh no, absolutely not. And one thing I do want to tell Miss Joanne is in the interim, I just want to applaud you. In the interim, live your life. I think sometimes when you've been in so many relationships, we miss out on who we are. And so I know once I got out of the relationship with my husband, I had an opportunity to sit back and say, it's really funny. Man, I was eating this all these years. I don't really like this. I was just eating this because he ate it. Or I was going these places. I don't really like going there. And so you get an opportunity to make some choices just for you. It was things that I was like, why did I stop eating this? I really like this. Oh, because he didn't like it. Why did I stop going here? I really like going here. Oh, because he didn't like to. And it became one of those things that, that we sacrifice, that we call ourselves compromising in the middle of the road. And, it just gives you opportunity to get back to yourself. That's what I think, Tisha.
Yeah, and you have to not lose yourself. And I know sometimes it can be hard and you
Now,
know, yeah, depending on
and
especially
especially the longer you be together,
yeah,
me and Troy, we over here like Siamese twins. We finish each other's sentences. If a song is playing, that radio could play for 15 minutes. And we're going to sing the same part in the same song at the same time. I don't care what it's just so much. I don't know. I think we co-joined at the brain at this point. So it's difficult not to, I don't know, it's difficult not to lose some of you and adopt some of them.
yeah. Well,
But now y'all don't need to do it day one.
right,
Don't
right.
be day one. Me and him, we about to be 15 years. So don't be day one, uh, oh, I can't live without him. Day one, you ought to still be autonomous. Year one, you should still be doing you. Year two, you should still be doing you.
Absolutely.
She said she
So,
can't find no men's girl. You have to write that book. You have to write that book this weekend, girl. That book need to be on sale next week.
yes, yes, absolutely.
Where the men's be at? Where the
uh,
men's is?
we gonna find
It's
something
raining
cute.
men's. It's raining men. Hallelujah. It's raining men. Oh, that's what you gonna call it. She
we
said, you cannot come on my show and act a fool, cuz.
we gonna talk about it. It's all good. You're welcome, Joanne. So yeah, don't lose yourself. Don't lose a part of yourself. One of the things that I do, I
CJ
know, right,
Mills.
CJ. One of the things that I do say is, and again, men are visual creatures. You know, they want you to look good and smell good. So don't lose that self-care piece. You know, if you give up some of your hobbies and things like that, don't give up the piece of you that pampers you.
Janae said, how do you respond to a man's interest when you aren't romantically interested but enjoy him showing interest? So you just like to flirt. You just like to flirt, Miss Denise. You know, I think we all have this piece of us that, are tickled when people are enamored with us. So I would just say, be honest.
Be honest.
Be honest. If you're not romantically interested in him, it's okay with you kikiing and caca with him, playing a little bit coy, but don't let him go too far because that's how stalkers are born. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's okay. I've had relationships where it was just a little flirty for years and years.
Yeah,
So
nothing wrong with flirting. It's, practice. Because when you get that man, you still want to flirt with him. You still want to play, kind of coy with him after you get him. So don't stop everything. Oh, I got him now. I can sit back and relax. No, you still want to do some of those things, especially Coach mentioned the five love languages and understanding what his love language is. And if I could put something to that, look, don't love him according to your love language. Love him according to his love language. And if you don't know what any of that means, then you can definitely look, see your girl, because we're going to talk about that in depth as well. But find out what that is, figure out what that is. Take the time to get to know that man so that you love him where he is in the way that he wants to be loved, like you want him to do that for you. Let's see. Have any other questions? Again, thank you so much for being here. We are talking with wives and the wisdom from wives in our morning series, and at night we are talking to him about what he really wants. So join us. Make sure you come back and join us 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My special guest will be Joe Smith tonight. He's a filmmaker, author, entrepreneur extraordinaire. We're going to have a great conversation with him tonight and the rest of the week. We have some really awesome speakers the rest of the week. And then on Sunday, we're having a panel discussion. So you definitely want to go to bit.ly/, he wants 2020 so that you can register and share so you can be entered into our drawing for some amazing gifts. So again, thank you so much for being here. I'm talking to my awesome and incredible Coach Danielle Winningham, and we've been, just chopping it up about what women need to do to get in position and to take some wisdom from women who've been there, done that. You might think but it doesn't hurt to get some bona fide certified information. So um coach, now you got to talk about the money for real. What these women need to do to get themselves in position so that you want him for him and not for his pockets.
I mean, that's nothing different than what we say every day. Um, I can speak from experience that you should never hinge your financial stability on a relationship. I remember that movie Jump the Broom, and she thought the husband was cheating on her. Come to find out, he was just going through a lot of financial difficulty. Ended up losing all his money. And she said, well, all these years, I kept a cushion. So she literally had peeled and stashed away millions of dollars. I think that sometimes in relationships, we do lose ourselves financially. We so busy splitting everything down the middle, not understanding that relationships sometimes, for whatever reason, just don't stand the test of time. It doesn't always mean we broke up. It may mean he lost his job. Now you're down to one income. It could be he gets sick or you get sick. Now you're down to one income. It could be you may lose him. Unfortunately, he may pass away. So there's a lot of different reasons that your finances would be limited within a relationship. But if you stay the course and make sure you understand how to make money with your two hands, you won't run into that problem. There's no one among us that shouldn't that should know how to make their own money. And when you know how to make your own money, it becomes less of this point of contention in a relationship. They say the majority of relationships break up because of money. Well, if y'all both going to a job trying to split two pennies, then that's why you're always arguing over money. At some point, y'all have got to stop and say, what can we do collectively as a couple to be able to earn more than enough so that we don't have to have this lack sitting between us? Because I'm going to tell you, it's nothing that breaks up a relationship as fast as lack and not having enough. So, as to me, I stand by the fact that all women, I don't care who you are watching, need to understand how to take what God gave you and generate revenue from it. Deuteronomy 8:18 says we have the power to create wealth. So why you not using your power? Don't ever give your power up to a relationship. Don't ever give your power up to a job. Don't ever give your power up to help everybody else out. Stop giving up your power. Because God knows it's going to rain before it actually rains. So he's sending you umbrellas to protect yourself. Don't wait till it starts storming outside and then be like, oh, I shoulda, woulda, coulda to build my business. Then it's too late.
Oh, that's good. I want to, while our guest is setting up, I want to go back to Miss Ola's comment. When you lose your partner to an untimely death, it changes your perspective on life. You have to stop and focus on you. Realize it's okay to be selfish and do what's best for you. That's powerful. And of course, losing a spouse unexpectedly is going to change your life. And the fact that, and Ms. Waters can also attest to that as well. It may take you some time to, get back in the rhythm of things or get back in the swing of things, but you absolutely can do just that. All right. Estella, unmute yourself.
All right, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Hey, boo.
Okay.
So, guys, this is my sister, Estella S. Look, she was Johnson before she was Dawson, but no, she's Dawson now. And she is a wife. She's going to tell you about her relationship story. And listen, guys, she was having to pivot because as a wife you have to do that, and she was on mommy duty, and it's all good because when you're an entrepreneur, when you're a wife extraordinaire like she is, you just got to make it do what it do.
Yeah.
um so and Stella, come on, tell the good people hello, and what you want them to know about you this
Hello,
morning.
everybody. Let me just first make you laugh, Tisha, by saying I should have kept my production assistant with me and not dropped him off at school because I've had quite a few challenges with this here production. Having said that, I am Estella Cherie Dawson. I am a wife, I'm a mother, I'm an executive pastor with New Outlook Community Church. I am the founder and director of Be Free to See Me. It's a new program that God is putting together through me, and I'm excited about it. I am a baker. I have a home-based business, Delightful Treat. I am also an administrator with several entities, and so I'm a little busy, just a little bit. And but I am delighted and honored to be here today. And apologize for my lateness, but again, I should have kept my production assistant with me. This is kind of different and new. Yeah. Okay. But I am excited to be here. And it was an honor to even get on for a few minutes and give words of wisdom from a wife's perspective. So, Tisha, whatever you want ask or whatever you want me to touch on, I'll be happy to do that.
Awesome, awesome. So tell them your relationship story, how long you've been married, what that looks like, what your husband does, how that impacts your life,
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. I have been married now for
all that good
17
stuff.
and a half years. We got married twice. We like to say it was so nice we did it twice. We had a private ceremony that nobody knew about in January, and then we had a very public wedding in August. And so I met my husband at a very interesting time, and the Holy Ghost just dropped this on me to say this part. I met my husband once I was finally happy at being single. Let me say that because I had so many years unhappy at being single. And what I like to call the Nancy Kerrigan phase. She was an ice skater and she got wounded here in Detroit. And they were asking her so many questions, the news reporters, but she had one answer for everything. And they said, Nancy, you think you're going to be able to skate tomorrow? And she was like, why? Nancy, do you know who did it? Why? Nancy, how are you feeling? Why? I don't care what they asked her. And in my singleness, I had that ministry. Why am I still single? Why is it taking so long? Why can't I find the person for me? Why can't the person find me? So on and so forth. And I was seeing all of my friends get married very young. And that's another important point that I'm bringing up. You can't want what somebody else has and you don't know what it took for them to get it, or you don't know what they have. So many of my friends that got married young, they're no longer married to those people now. But I was looking at that and wanting that. And for me, God was like, you're not ready for that because you're not ready for you. So I had finally got to the point where I was happy with being single. I had found out who I was in the Lord. I had found out what I liked about myself. And most importantly, I found out what I no longer wanted to tolerate, because I was drawing people that needed me and could not give me what I needed. I had plenty to give them. They didn't have plenty to give me. So when my husband came along, I had made some hard decisions, walking away from some people and some situations and things. And I was finally enjoying being single. My ministry was starting to grow. I was being asked to preach different places for singles conferences. And here comes my husband, who was once divorced and had said that the Lord ministered to him and told him when in his deepest moments, you're going to marry again. That wasn't who I had for you, but you're going to marry again. So here he comes, and he's just a friend. And then I realized, okay, he might be more than a friend. What is this going to be about? At the time, he was a baggage handler right after 9/11. And so he had been displaced due to his income, and he was actually homeless. He lived at COTS. He had a one-room spot. COTS is a homeless shelter here in Detroit. Their first level back in the day used to be for people that were immediately displaced. Their upper levels were for people that had a small income and they would pay what they could, and they would have a one room. He was displaced. So I put these points out because our story is very unusual and it's truly a faith. Because I got to be honest, the girl I was back then would have been like, I'm sorry, you what? You live where? You do what? Okay, bye bye. I can't really, it wasn't fitting what I thought I wanted. So we were just friends in the beginning. But it grew into other things, and the Lord immediately began to speak to me about him. Long story short, now he's a police officer of about, I'm going to say 15 years. He's a pastor. He is an activist. He is so many, many things. He's my best friend. And I love doing life with him. Has it been easy? Absolutely not. Has it been worth it? Absolutely so. And one of the key things about our life together is, even in our hardest times, teacher, one thing the enemy could never come and say to us is, did you pick the wrong one? Because we made sure that we were sure that we were sure that this is who, number one, we were in love with. I guess number two and number one is who God had designed. Because you got to make sure you know you, and you know what you want, and you know who the person is before you, and did God send them? Otherwise, you're going to waste a lot of time. And I wasted a lot of time. I was in my 30s when I got and I had just decided, in fact, Tisha, when he asked me to be in a committed relationship with him, back in the day, it was we be my girlfriend. I literally told this man, I cannot be your girlfriend because I have looked at my track record and I have decided I don't have a clue of what I'm doing. Not a clue. So I can't say yes to, not, as the country people say, another man, until I know that God has sent them. And he was like, are you serious? And I was like, yeah, I looked at my track record and I'm like, oh, that's a mess. So I would not get in a committed relationship with him at the time until I knew that I knew he was the one that God had sent for me. Because going on my own feelings, I had saw what my feelings got me in a couple past relationships. Yeah. Okay. If you don't understand your feelings about yourself, you won't understand your feelings about others. And I had to go through that process. So once we went through that process and I understood me better and he understood him and we knew what we wanted, it moved rather quickly. Once we did get committed, I think once I agreed to be his girlfriend, literally he went out 2 days later and started looking for a ring because he knew what he wanted. And so the whole first 6 weeks of our relationship, we were ring shopping. I was like, stuff that ain't normal. Now, but we did. We went ring shopping literally every day, ended up at somebody's jewelry store because he knew what he wanted. And I ultimately knew what I wanted. And so we got married. It's been 17 and a half years of ups and downs and ins and outs.
Look,
And
we're going to talk about that in a minute.
Yeah, I'm so glad that those vows weren't any longer than they were, because I promise you, we rode the train on every single vow, okay? I'm glad God didn't put like 2, 3, 5, 6, 7 more things in there. I don't know. We're like, I can't take it, okay? But we have rode the train on those vows, but I wouldn't change it for the world, because I know I was called to this. And that called to this. So.
Ooh, listen, you guys, you're getting it straight. Coach dropped the mic, of course. And again, thank you, Coach, for being with us. And we have my sister, Stella, who's sharing about her relationship story. And one of the things she said was, she waited. Now, what I do appreciate, your story, as well as one of my cousins. Well, actually, two of my cousins, two of my favorite girl. Can I say that favorite girl? Cause two of my oldest. Let me put it that way. Two of my oldest girl cousins who waited very late to get married, and they're still married. And I appreciate that, because there is a maturing that you need to do. Because I was 21 when I got married the first time, and I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I knew nothing of what it took to get together. I didn't know who I was. He didn't know who he was. It was just a mess. We were in this looking for love space, and we bumped into each other and try to build this huge thing on that. And that is not enough. So I appreciate the fact that you waited and you said you love me. What's interesting is I know a lot of people who say, I got to the point I was loving my life and life was great. And here come almost like an interruption.
It felt like that. It literally felt like that. And I can remember going to my pastors and going to their office and saying, I got an issue. And they were like, what? And I said, I think God has sent my husband. And they were looking at me like, and, and that's the issue? And I was like, yes, because I am finally at the point where I enjoy being single. And I just bust out crying. And they were looking like, okay, this is some different territory. In fact, my pastor said I had a lot of women come through the offices. I've never had one come through like, I got a challenge, I don't know what to do, but he gave me an amazing piece of advice. And he said, for as much as he chases you, you chase God.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, he said, you chase God. He said, because you'll get a chance to see everything you need to see. You will increase the amount of pursuit of God that he does, because he's chasing you, and he'll begin to chase the thing that you chase after even more. And I was like, wow. I said, okay, I can do that. Okay, all right, and that was just an amazing piece of advice that I pass on to this day. Chase God. You gotta, because God is going to reveal so much about you to you. We want to seek God about others. Is he the one? What does he want? What does he need? All of that will be revealed, but you have to learn about you if you're going to fill that spot as a wife. And the reason why I felt a little bit of anxiety, the reason why I would bust out crying, it was the craziest thing, Tisha. Once I started chasing God more, the Lord revealed one night we were sitting watching a movie, and he said, your hesitance has nothing to do with the things that you think. He said, you are hesitant about going deeper in me, because to be the wife that he needs, you got to go deep.
Wow.
And I just bust out crying, and he looking at me like, you all right? Okay. And I was like, yeah, but I couldn't talk for a minute. And he was like, yeah, that it's going to take you being deeper in me. You got to pray more. You got to listen more. You got to discern more. You got to this, that, and the other. I'm thinking the natural things. God was like, no, it's some spiritual things. You have to go deeper in. Sis, I'm thinking, hey, when you're single and you don't want to cook, you can call that a fast as unto the Lord and go to bed. Okay. When you're married and you don't want to cook, he still needs to eat. Your kids still need to eat. And it's not to say that he hasn't been wonderful, because he cooks and he cleans and he helps and all those things. But that's where my mind was as a single woman. He's going to want this, that, and the other. And God said, let me show you him and let me show you you. And you'll see, number one, what he really wants. And you'll see, number two, that I've designed you to be able to give it in your portion. Don't give him the things that I need to give him, but give him things that you need to give him. And that's something I got to be transparent. I had trouble with back in the day. We're nurturers, we're helpers, we're helpmeets, we're this and that. And we want to make it happen and make it right and help the man and pour into him and change him and da-da-da. And then we want to run on and see what the end is going to be. We dare not break up with them once we start seeing some signs, because we're like, we put too much time in this.
Right.
And so I done got him ready for somebody else. Oh, no. I'm telling you that, hey, I can't speak to nobody but me. That's where I was back in the day. And so God would give me signs, girl. I can remember dating a guy and making plans, and we're going to do this and that, but I got to go sing with the choir and go sing with the choir at the church, and the Lord tear me up, and I come right in and break up with him. I'll be like, God said I got to let you go. And he looking like, you just want to go sing some hooks. I'm trying to understand. You sang some Jesus hooks, and now the relationship is over. Okay. But it was in my quest to learn me, and God was like, I have so much more for you if I can get you to see so much more of yourself and
Mm.
how amazing you are. If we can be as kind of where the be free to see me came from, sis, we have so many things that bog us down and we're not free to see ourselves. So we don't see how we fit into that thing. So
Ooh, that's good. Listen, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. I am Tisha Marie Johnson. For those who do not know me, your love of a lifetime founder and creator, helping you manifest true and lasting love. This is the What He Really Wants Relationship Summit. And every morning till Sunday, we are having Wisdom from Wives conversations at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, 9 a.m. in the East, which I'm in the East. So I'm excited. Yesterday we kicked off with a bang. Today is no different. We had on my awesome and amazing business coach, Coach Danielle. And now we're talking to my sister Stella. And listen, you need to invite somebody to this conversation. If you have not shared this broadcast, go ahead and share the broadcast. And also, there's benefits from sharing. So you want to register bit.ly/, he wants 2020, bit.ly/ he wants 2020. And you need to share the broadcast to be entered into the special drawing that we're going to do at the end of the week. We're going to have some special giveaways. So you don't want to miss out on that. And the other thing is you need to register bit.ly/ he wants 2020. So you can be in the Zoom room because we're going to have an after party. The after party last night was so off the chain. Y'all don't even understand. So we're going to have a quick behind the scenes conversation this morning if Estella has time to do that. And certainly meet me back here tonight at 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to have another special guest. He is none other than Joe Smith. He is from Detroit. He's a musician, a filmmaker, just an entrepreneur extraordinaire. So I'm excited to have the conversation with him tonight. So you want to come on back, but go to bit.ly/ he wants 2020 so you can register. So we're talking to Estella, and we just got a few more minutes that I want to share. And thank you guys for sharing. Thank you guys for commenting. Sweet Reese said, "Thanks. This is really good." Miss Waters, we're gonna get to your question. Can you bring your question to the Zoom room so we can talk about it in depth? Let's see. When Dee said happy at being single, I thought about the song is Donald Lawrence, but it's I want to say India Irie singing it, Happy Being Me. I don't
yes, yes,
that song is pretty powerful. I'm
yes.
happy being me, and that's what
I
Estella's been talking
was.
about.
That's where I was. And I think that when you are in that place, it makes a big difference. When and it's imperative that you embrace that place, because for me, I was so new to that place that I didn't even have an opportunity to fully embrace it. I embraced it for what I needed in that moment. But the reason why it's so imperative to really get a handle in that space, in that time, and to not rush is because it's so easy in marriage to lose yourself.
Yeah,
It's so easy.
yeah.
Um, transparent moment, I did and didn't even realize. And had someone come along and said that, I'd have been offended. You don't, you're not talking about me. I'd have lost myself. But you lose yourself in your love for others and wanting to care for them, your spouse, your children, your as our parents are getting older, even in helping them and things like that. So you got to keep a good hold on you and what makes you happy, because God's math says He takes two whole people,
Yeah,
puts them together, makes one.
yeah,
Now He doesn't deal in fractions.
right.
Okay, I never
You're
like
not
fractions.
a fraction of a person.
We're not a fraction of
You are a whole person looking for another whole person.
for another whole person. Okay, and so when you are not happy with yourself, you do too much changing that nobody required. Your man didn't ask for it. God didn't ask for it. So what are you doing? Who are you overcompensating for? What's really going on here? And so you got to be happy with yourself. And I was happy with myself. I enjoyed being single. I enjoyed that time I had to be single. When I wanted companionship, I would go out to the movies or whatever with a male friend or something, but I wasn't lonely. I
Yeah.
had learned how to be alone without being lonely.
Right.
And so it's such a big difference. And had I married during that time when I was feeling lonely, I can't honestly say I would still be married.
Right. It causes you to make decisions that you in your right mind. I say like the prodigal son, when you come to yourself,
Come to yourself. I
you
came to
look at
myself,
like
baby. It's like, what is really going on?
what's
Okay.
really going on? How did I do that?
hmm
What
hmm
was I thinking?
hmm
Um,
hmm
we have another comment, and I'm doing a watch party from my sister Dina. Hey, Dina. She said, "Hi, Tisha. As a newlywed, just listening and getting some wisdom. Married at 51. Totally glad I waited. Yes, and Dina, I believe, just celebrated her first year anniversary,
Oh,
and
congratulations.
so that is amazing that, you would wait that long. And, I can say myself that there were times when the pressures of life
Yeah.
came and just, took me over like an avalanche
hmm
because you have these self-imposed timelines,
Oh my.
and that will cause you to make wrong decisions as well.
Yeah.
I think the sooner you come to understand who you really are, understanding what your purpose is, and then really truly loving you, because if you don't love you, you can't teach the other person how to
You
love
can't.
you.
You can't. Even when they want to learn,
Yeah,
they're eager to
exactly.
learn. And you like the little kids, and it's a pet peeve of mine when you ask a child why they've done something over here. I don't know. No, you always know it's in there. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah,
You might need to help get it out, but it's in
yeah,
there. But when they want to know, you know what I'm saying? Because so many times men get a bad rap where we kind of portray that they don't want to know, that they're just totally selfish, that they don't want to do this and that, and that's not true. You have amazing men out here that are
yeah,
bringing something to the table, and they want to offer what they're bringing to you, but they want to offer it in the way in which you really need it. And if you can't tell them what you need, you can't tell them what you want. They're like, I don't know what you want me to do with this, girl, And
right.
so we get tangled up so many times in looking for something in our mate that we really should be finding from ourselves. We really
Yeah,
should be seeking God. And
yeah,
the other thing we get entangled in is offering something to our mate that we really want our mate to give to us.
exactly. Yeah,
My husband is an advocate of the five love language book, right?
yeah, yeah.
Okay. He had been mentioning this book, y'all. I ain't gonna tell you how long. I was like, yep, we're gonna read that. We're gonna sit down. Yep, we're gonna read that. Yep. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, I'm doing things that I like for him, like when I don't get the reaction that I wanted, and vice versa.
Yeah.
It wasn't until a total separate entity brought that in. It was my counselor, because we're an advocate for counseling. As soon as we realized God was calling us to be pastors, we immediately went into counseling, because I don't want to minister to you what my issues are. And I can't see your issues and take them to God, because all I see
Right,
is my issues. You know what I'm
right,
saying? We
right.
didn't want leaders don't do what I do as I say kind of people too. So we immediately went into counseling. And so I tell you all the time, and counseling is wonderful. If you need it, go. If you need a tweak later on, go back, whatever the case. It
Absolutely.
was a counselor that brought up the five love languages, right? I think I might have been talking about I was frustrated about something. So once he brought it up, I cracked up laughing, went back, had to, apologize and be like, babe, that book you was talking, okay, yeah, let's get into that book. Got into it and realized that that's the reason why I was frustrated. I was giving him what I need. He was
Yeah,
giving what he needed. He is a physical person, so he likes hugs and things like that. And I am an active service person. You really want to do for me? I mean, Years later, I'm still an active service person. Okay, you want to do for me, wash the dishes, or you want to do for me, blah blah blah. And my husband has learned that. I'm on a quest now in this pandemic to bless seniors and people in need. Right? He did the most amazing thing, and I was so geeked and excited, y'all. He went and drove 35 minutes to a BJ's to pick up some disinfectant wipes that were on sale. Okay, now to the rest of the world will be like, you were excited about that? Yes, that was like roses and candy, and because that was a major act of service. It was his time, it was his gas, it was his effort to show me I not only care about you, but I care about what you care about.
Yeah.
Which was huge.
Right.
So it means so much when you know yourself and you can relay what you want. And when you know yourself and you know what you bring to the table, that's an amazing thing for your spouse. No marriage is perfect, but it makes the journey a lot easier when you can see the tools that you have and you know what you're working with.
Woo. Listen, this time has been incredible. And Estella, I'm gonna have you back because you mentioned about the vows and riding on that way. Yeah, we need to have a conversation about that. But
Yeah.
listen, you guys, go to bit.ly/ he wants 2020. We're going, after we end this in just a few minutes, we're gonna go in the Zoom room and finish the conversation for a few more minutes. But you can't get in unless you have the code and you have the link. So you got to go register bit.ly/ he wants 2020. But with the last minute or so that we have, what do you want to leave the people with, especially the wives, those that are in waiting, those that been there, done that, and think it's hopeless or it might be a helpless situation? What do you want to share?
What I want to share is that there is definitely always hope because we serve a God that is love and he has the greatest plans and desires for you. And he said that his thoughts are above our thoughts and his ways are above our ways. So for all of the things that we want and all the things that we desire, his thoughts are above that. So if we really just plug into him, he can show us how to plug into everything else. And if you really, really, really want to know what a man wants, you've got to be willing to learn. And see, sometimes we're not ready to learn, we're ready to do. And sometimes you just got to sit and you got to listen and you literally got to take notes. It sounds crazy, but I can remember the talks we've had where I took notes when my husband was sharing his heart. So you can be able to work with that. So if you really want to love, you got to really be able to listen. And you really got to be able to act on what you hear.
Awesome. And look, shout out to my brother, police officer, Detroit's finest, Darrell Dawson, Pastor Darrell Dawson. Hey, brother. Thank you. Thank you for loving my sister. I appreciate how he loves on you. And, you guys have it.
Isn't that amazing? When you are known for that,
Yeah.
wherever you go, that's one of the first things they say is, that man loves his wife.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Shout out to him as well. You do a good job.
And it's a beautiful thing because we hear the bad stuff, but we rarely take time to celebrate the good stuff. And so, over here, your love of a lifetime, we are going to definitely make more efforts to show, the marriage is not easy. Marriage is work. But it's beautiful and it's a wonderful thing. And we definitely, in this Wisdom from Wise conversation, want to show you that, yes, there are some marriages out here that are standing the test of time, and you just need to know what you need to know. One of the things that Stella shared in our closing is that you got to be connected. You got to go to God, and we're gonna have that conversation too. You there are just some things that you're not gonna be able to handle in the natural. You have to be a woman of prayer, and you got to be willing to listen and sometimes shut your mouth sometimes not do what because we want to do, especially those of us that are nurturers
Oh
and
my.
givers. We want to do, but sometimes you just gotta let God be God and let him do what he does. So again,
Mm.
you guys, thank you so much for joining us today. Let me put Estella's information. If you want to contact her, you can do just that. You can email her. I hope I got that email right. You
Be
can, okay.
free to see me. Yep.
Contact her via email for more information. She can let you know what's going on. And of course, if you register, we'll send this information to you with the wrap up and the replay and all of that good stuff. But this has been incredible. I'm so excited. Listen, join me tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, no, 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so you can hear from his mouth what he wants. It's going to be a great conversation. So you guys have a great and awesome day, and I look forward to seeing you tonight. Thank you so, so, so much. It is be free to see me
Yep. We
at
got a lot
Gmail.
of see me at
It's
Gmail.
the email,
Yep.
Sweet Reese. And Marnie said, yeah, you need to hold your tongue. Absolutely. Okay, you guys, we're going to get out of here, but come on back tonight. And if you haven't shared the broadcast, please share the broadcast. I appreciate each and every one of you. And those of you that are registered, meet me in the Zoom room.
Come on over to the Zoom room.
All right, you guys. Okay, great, Reese. Thank you so much. See you guys later.